In the 2021 season, Lewis Hamilton is deeply entrenched in the title battle with Max Verstappen. At the same time, the driver every Formula One fan loves to hate, Valtteri Bottas, is almost out of the championship reckoning, with the Finn struggling to match his illustrious teammate. No wonder, without even a quarter of the season done, there are already question marks around the future of Valtteri Bottas. Mercedes, on their part, have two young, fast, and promising prospects that could be ideal for that Mercedes seat. In George Russell and Esteban Ocon, Toto Wolff has two viable options that could potentially step into that Mercedes seat and arguably do a better job than what Bottas has been currently doing. However, like many things in Formula One, putting a driver next to Lewis Hamilton in a Mercedes cockpit is not as straightforward as it seems. Valtteri Bottas might not be as quick as Lewis Hamilton. He might not even be as consistent either. But the fact is, Bottas doesn't need to be. He's not in the Mercedes cockpit to win the championship. He's there to play the supporting act. He's there to stay as close as he can to Lewis Hamilton and take points off the competition like Max Verstappen and previously Sebastian Vettel. If you look at Bottas' performances from that perspective, then he seems to be doing a good job. He's almost always within a tenth or two of Hamilton's time in qualifying, and does occasionally beat him as well, just like he did at Portugal. On a Sunday, he's not as good a racer as Lewis is. Well, let's be fair, there aren't many on the grid who actually are. But in a way, that does help the cause as Lewis is able to finish ahead of Bottas. And in terms of the bigger picture, that's exactly what you want, right? You want your lead driver to finish ahead of your second driver so that the points haul can be maximized. If we are looking at Bottas from the lens of a number 2 driver, then he seems to be doing an almost perfect job. Especially if you compare his performance with the likes of Sergio Perez, who is comparatively doing not as good a job as Bottas is right now. Toto Wolff does not have the best of memories of the time when Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton were teammates at Mercedes. There have been multiple occasions when he has recalled how fractious the briefings used to be as both the drivers were fighting tooth and nail to gain any edge possible in the title fight. Was Rosberg as good a driver as Lewis Hamilton? Arguably not. But what Rosberg had was a sheer determination to win the title and the willingness to even indulge in a few mind games here and there if that helped him. Although it culminated in Rosberg winning the title in 2016, the year, as Toto Wolff put it, was not the easiest to manage. This was something that Toto Wolff kept in mind when he signed Valtteri Bottas in 2017. A driver that was fast enough to challenge Hamilton, but someone who would not break the team harmony. In Russell and Ocon, Mercedes have two drivers that are not only fast, but also very hungry to go after the championship. Very early in their careers, they have shown the hunger and capability to do a great job in a Formula One car. Russell, in fact, in his one-off opportunity to drive a Mercedes, almost won a Formula One race last year. These are the kind of drivers that are selected to win you races and championships. But these are not the drivers you put in your car if you want a supporting act, if you want to maintain team harmony. If Mercedes is looking at hiring a future world champion, then both Russell and Ocon will have a shot at that seat. The problem is, however, Mercedes is looking for a support cast for Lewis Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas fits the job description perfectly. Lewis Hamilton has been a vital cog in this well-oiled Mercedes machinery that has been winning since 2014. Arguably, his role and stature within the team has grown in the recent times. He is the gold standard when it comes to driving in Formula 1, and with 7 world titles already in the bag, the most successful driver in the history of the sport. At 36, Hamilton is not the same man he was when he made his debut in 2007. He is more polished, experienced, and to an extent, one of the smartest operators on the grid. Even if Mercedes was looking to hire a new driver, the decision would require consultation from Hamilton. And at that stage, would Hamilton be in favor of putting a young charger next to him? Or will he argue that for the sake of team harmony, that was damaged immensely during the time of Nico Rosberg, Bottas needs to be re-signed? Historically speaking, a young charger coming to the team and taking on the incumbent star has never worked out. Be it when Ayrton Senna joined Alain Prost, or when Nelson Piquet was partnered with Nigel Mansell, or most notably in 2007 when a young rookie by the name of Lewis Hamilton made his debut against the reigning world champion Fernando Alonso. Lewis Hamilton is in a comfortable position at Mercedes with Bottas as his teammate. Would he be willing to partner a new teammate with the potential of giving him a much tougher time? After 7 world titles and commanding huge respect within the team, it's highly unlikely that would happen. And that is why Mercedes will not get rid of Valtteri Bottas. Unless Lewis Hamilton decides to retire and Mercedes are pushed into a succession plan, it looks highly unlikely that either of Ocon or Russell get the seat at Mercedes. And although honestly I would love to see someone challenge Hamilton in the same car, it's going to be hard to make that happen. Now these were my views. What do you guys think? Will Mercedes re-sign Bottas, or will they get rid of him for the 2022 season? Do share your views in the comment section. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.